Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday Night Live. We already got the Big Bait Posse in here. Mike Pendleton, thanks for stopping in. Smallmouth Rule, and we're going to talk about Smallies tonight for sure. We already got a knockdown drag out of a tournament going on in the smallmouth tournament, and if you think for a moment that it's going to be a slow tournament, you're sadly mistaken. We've been at it not even a week, only 6 days, and it's already tight. So, thanks everybody for stopping in. Appreciate you all. Actually, there we go. We're starting to populate now. So, 3 folks in. Thanks for stopping in. We'll get to the spreadsheet on the smallmouth tournament. It's been fast and furious. Hey, buddy Gary, how are you? I just watched your episode. I need to comment on it. If you want to see like a good day fishing, average day fishing, and then all hell breaks loose, watch Gary's latest video. And that's why they say BOAT stands for break out another 1,000. Hey, James Allen, thanks for stopping in. I got your fish on the chart already. Gary, did you ever find out what it's going to take to fix that trailer yet? I'm sure you're working it. Oh, I've been fortunate to have some time off this week, and I've been out. Like I tore them up this morning. I tore them up last night, and I'm not going to tell all the because I got episodes coming out from them. But man, I lost a whale last night, broke my line, and I changed my line out. I'm not messing around with breaking lines. So, hey Chris, how are you? Chris Bogley's keeping it real, and brother, you are keeping it real, catching those smallmouth hammers. So, evening, Chris. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. I'm hoping somebody that. By the way, I didn't get to really be on the five bass draw episode. I kind of was driving in my car in Hawaii when it came out, so I texted for just a few moments. But congratulations to Kenneth Newstead of New York for winning the five bass draw. I mean, I would have never thought 3 years ago when we started we'd have a winner in New York, but he hammered it. And Nicole and Chris, I think Chris Zelny was second. Nicole Ford was third. Or I always mix Nicole's last name up, but she knows who I'm talking about. It was Nicole Abrams. Nicole Abrams. Congratulations, you guys. And if you haven't got your prize yet, please let me know because I already told Omnia to send it to you. Usually it takes 2 or 3, 4 days to get to you. So, John, how are you? Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I'm sure things in Florida are hot. It was smoking in Virginia today. It was, I think it was 100. I don't know exactly what the official temperature was, but 99, close enough. I got out this morning. It was cloudy, overcast, and the bass were biting. But as soon as the sun penetrated through the clouds, they were like, "See ya." I was catching them in 18 feet of water. They went to 50 feet of water, I guess, or they got down in the grass. So it was. I didn't even waste my time. Oh wow, you had some storms. That's good. It's always good to get the water in the summertime. So hey, I'm going to throw out the spreadsheet for the first time tonight. And hang on to your hats, folks. I mean, I think this is going to be every week this is going to change, but this is as of the 6th day of this tournament. It's a month-long tournament. So let's share it out here. Here we go. Bam. Chris Bogley's keeping it real. A 19 and 2 17s at 53 inches. That's a good start, my friend. That's a real good start. Bass Hunter, you're in second, the guy who won it last year. Mike Pendleton, I know you're on here. You're sitting in third. It's close between you two. I know you guys fish together a lot. So that's what we got turned in so far. I think I seen one come in just before the episode came on. I didn't have time to update it, but lots of time. But getting in the 50s already in the top 3 fish. That's some good fishing. Chris, you got some hammers already. And I'm sure they came out of the Delaware River. Sure they came out of the Delaware River. Team Bogley. John is on board with Team Bogley. And Chris, if you win this tournament, I demand another video of you singing Guns N' Roses. If you haven't seen that video, go to Chris Bogley's Keeping It Real. It is worth the watch. Oh, Russell, sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope you get better. Brian, I tell you, man, it was hot today. Hot. And I know you were I knew you were working all day. I was gonna text you and say, hey man, I'm catching them, I'm hammering them, but I was like, he didn't want to hear that. He's working. Bogley's like, yes, caught him in the Delaware River. And that's a good fishery. I've caught quite a few smallies in the Delaware myself. It's a good fishery. I don't. I'm just looking to see who all we got in here. We don't have too many in here tonight, but I'll throw that spreadsheet out in just a few minutes. Russell, I definitely hope you get feeling better. Sick's nowhere. It's not fun being sick at all. I don't care what it is. So, hey, Chris. Yes, I am glad to be back home. I do not. I was in the Pacific last week. That trip drained me, man. That was it's in the airplane for 14 hours one way, and then the 6-hour time difference, and it sucks. Yeah, you're in beautiful sunny island world, but you're working, you don't have time to do anything. John says, we are trying a new little reservoir tomorrow that Linda found south of us, about halfway down Okeechobee. Good luck, John. You might find a new donkey land. You never know. You never know. That's what I like about, looking on a map and figuring out, finding reservoirs and stuff like that. Some of them are off the grid. No one fishes them. So, Chris McGowan, yes. When I pay $40 for a hamburger, it's too expensive. Hawaii is way too expensive. Unfortunately, I had to stay in the tourist trap part of Hawaii. But yeah, it's way too expensive. You know what's inexpensive is the beer. You can get a beer for $3, but you pay $40 for a burger. It's crazy. Yep, John, just got to go try it. Are you going to try anything different? Are you going out there you're going to take them out with bruiser baits, or are you going to change something up, John? All right, I'll check that fish. Mike, I'll double check. I actually had one of yours and Bass Hunters mixed up, so I probably got it wrong. So I'll go back and double check. It's still close. John says he doesn't know till see the water. Yeah. Chris says he stays on base when he goes to Hawaii. Yeah. They won't let me. My company won't let me, even though I can. I don't work for a company. I work for a university. The university won't let me. I have to stay in Marriott. But I'd rather stay on base, honestly. So this tournament is going to be 4 weeks long for the smallmouth. We're going to end up with the team tournament at the end, and trying to get at least 15 teams. And I got a few already lined up. So if you're thinking about it, the team rules are going to be, we're going to use the 5 bass draw format. I'm going to change it up though. I'm not going to do the 1 inch. I'm going to do the 1/2 inch. I got a lot of feedback. Everybody wants to go to the 1/2 inch difference on the first 3. But I'm going to do 1 inch on the last 2. It'll be a 6-week tournament, just like the regular 5 bass draw, but your teammate can be anywhere. As long as you guys coordinate your catch, you'll have your own. You'll have your own codes. So it'll just like it was last year. It worked out really good last year, I thought. Yes, John, I got you and Lindy in there. But what I'm going to try to do, I think, is change that team tournament up because it ends the 1st of November, the end of October, 1st of November. And, like John, you and Lindia, that's great for you guys because you're down in Florida and it's all nice and warm down there. Everybody starts deer hunting. As John, as you know, you were a big deer hunter when you're up this way. Everybody gives up fishing for deer hunting, and I lose a lot of participation. So I'm going to try to find a way next year. I might run 2 tournaments concurrent, and try to have I definitely going to keep the smallmouth tournament. By the way, not going to get rid of that. A lot of people love the smallmouth tournament, and it's really competitive. But I might run the smallmouth tournament and the team tournament concurrently, somewhat concurrently, not exactly the same, but try to end it like the end of September, maybe the 10th or 12th of October. So I'm going to look at it for next year. John says the 5 draft is prime for us. Sonic equals. So it equals out. Yeah, I got you. I know what you're getting at, John. It's you got to admit that 5S draw format is tough. And like I said, I never thought somebody in New York would be out on top. And like again, congrats to Kenneth Newstead. I mean, he caught some hammers. It's just like Brian Green last year. I remember he called me and he said, "I got the fish to win." It just took him getting that one fish, and the same thing with Kenneth. All right, Russell. I'm glad to get you and your granddaughter out there. We'll make sure we get them signed up. I'll send out a mass email to advertise, to let you guys know to sign up. Getting the email helps me keep everything in line, to get people on the spreadsheet. So glad you and the granddaughter be out there. So just looking to see if I missed anything. Nope. All right, let me throw up the spreadsheet one more time. I know I didn't advertise this live that much. Just threw it out on the YouTube community tab. Share screen. And hold on, let me put that up there. There we go. There we go again. 53 inches with Bogley keeping it real. Mr. Chris Bogley up in Easton, PA. I think you're in Easton, right? Or close to Easton, Chris. And then Bass Hunter is telling me I got one of his fish wrong. I'll double check it. It's still pretty close there. And then I know a lot of folks are still fishing and holding some fish, but it's going to take. I'm just going to predict it. It's my prediction. Going to take 56 to 57 to win it. So, everybody is in it at this point. Don't quit fishing. John, I want to come down right after sometime in November is what I'm thinking. And I've been keeping track when you catch most of your big fish. November's a big month for you guys. Big. That's a big month. You catch a lot of bigs in November. So, hey Ted, thanks for stopping in, buddy. I didn't catch your episode. I'll go back and watch it later tonight. Getting new tires put on my wife's car. Brian says he's out. Wife's having major surgery. Man, Brian, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope that goes well. Definitely hope that goes well. And hopefully you're not out too long. I know we talked about it a little bit. Hopefully the recovery time is not too rough. So, Ted, thanks for stopping in again. Appreciate you. I know you're getting. We're just talking about this, Ted. We're talking about moving the team tournament till earlier in the year because people are gearing up for deer season, and you're one of those guys that are gearing up for deer season. Because you kind of shift your channel from fishing to hunting in the next few weeks. which is awesome. I love to watch your hunting videos. So, John, you think how are you looking in November? Is that going to be a good time to come down? Because they're going to be, I'll be in Florida in October. I got to fish the Lunkers end of year tournament on Lake Eufaula down with Gary, but then I definitely want to. I want to come back down in November and fish then. All right, James, sounds good. Appreciate it. We'll get you signed up. That's what I thought. Spawning will be going. That's what I was thinking. It's the perfect time out there. And I want those girls big and plump and shallow. Make it easy. Yeah, John, we had a cold snap when I was down there before, but we still had a good day when I was with you before. I think I caught 10 or so. I mean, that's not a bad day of fishing. So John says that's where they'll be, and that's where I want them to be. Yeah. Today I was out fishing and I didn't catch a fish one in less than 15 feet. I caught everything around 17, 18, 19 feet. And let me rephrase that. If I wanted to catch a 12-incher, you throw shallow. Because all the 12-inchers are up chasing bait around in the shallows. But today, actually the last 2 days, everything has been 15 to 20 feet, just roughly. Not exactly, but they got to be. When I look at my live scope and I find the weed pattern, and it looks like a jigsaw puzzle, that's where the bass are. And don't get me wrong, love catching bass no matter what, but sometimes it's like I just want to throw a spinnerbait. I want to power fish. I've got to do all this. I got to worm fish. I got to do a drop shot. You got to do all those things that are. It's that time of year, right here in Virginia. Yeah, Brian, bank runners. They're bank runners. And by the way, I can tell everybody in the lake. Every time I'm on the lake, people go, Shane, where the fish at? 15 to 18 foot of water. They hear me say it, and then they just go around and pound the bank. They just run the banks. And they go, man, I didn't catch anything but a couple of dinks. So. Oh, that's a good idea, Ted. You said you're coming down the end of right after Christmas. Yes, our lakes do turn over, Ted, and they tend to turn over. It depends. We don't have a drought year. The droughts, we don't have a bad drought this year here, but they tend to turn over the end of November till somewhere the first few weeks of December. And the fishing is pretty tough after when that turnover happens. But once the turnover is done in the winter, you can start hammering them again if it's warm enough to get out there. Yes, if I fish with you, you better wear a helmet. Yes. Brian, we're just going to click the wrong one. Brian, you're right. It does look like a NASCAR race on a lake. Our lakes here that we fish are, 400 to 700 acres. And they're not, can't have gas motors on them. That's why we run all electric. But on a Saturday, it just looks like it is a NASCAR race. Exactly what it is. John, my ducking skills are superior. Hey, they are, John. But I'll tell you, you can ask Gary. You've seen some of the videos of me and Gary on the same boat. I can tell you, Gary and I have been fishing together for 35 years, at least 35 years, maybe even more. I've never hooked him. Now, have I jerked a fish into him? Sure, but he's never got a hook from me on him. So. Yeah, you watch the guys in Dunkerland do fish to dunk. Yeah, and that's ridiculous in Dunkerland. The lake is the same depth with the exception of the channel throughout the whole lake. So it's interesting when you see people out there, but it's just habit. People are creatures of habit when it comes to fishing because they caught that big giant fish 35 years ago or 30 years ago running the banks, and that's what they really get ingrained in their head. You know, yes, that's the 3 Ds of dodgeball, but it's not the 3 Ds of bass fishing. Not the 3 Ds of bass fishing. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge I'll bring a wrench with me next time, John. Hey, I don't cheat. Matter of fact, you'll see this I got a couple new episodes coming out in the next week or two that I've filmed the last few days. Hey, hook sets are free, man. And I don't cheat. If I'm going to set the hook, they're going to know it. And that's the way I've always been. And you can ask Gary, who's been fishing with me forever. It's been that same hook set. And until I get too old so that I can't set them like that, it's going to be that tough. Hey, Mike, thanks for stopping in. Good luck tomorrow. Good luck. Catch some big ones. I hope you get some good ones. I have watched Dodgeball movie, John, like a dozen times. Yes, Ted, I know you like that big hook set too. I'll tell you though, man, I'm going to spoil it a little bit, but I set the hook on one yesterday, and if you something to think about, and I started this off as like I just changed the line on one of my reels. If you hook a big bass and it's too deep, and the line is in their mouth, and they're shaking their head, they can cut your line. Even though those teeth aren't razor sharp like a pike or whatever. I mean, a big bass. And dude, guys, I had a monster yesterday, and I haven't looked too much back at the film, but I'm pretty sure I caught it all. But just a monster, and I knew it as soon as I could see him because I can see 14 feet deep in these lakes. Um, the And I could see that when I got him up shallow when I was trying to net him, that I couldn't see the hook and the line was in his teeth. And I really think, his teeth actually cut the line or helped cut the line because, I mean, he was massive. Brian says, yeah, I did. I texted Brian. I was like, dude, I always, if you have, there's a podcast I was on last week, Fishing the DMV. If you hadn't seen it, go over and check it out. We were talking about lakes in my area. And I said, Lake Mooney, which is the one I was fishing, is going to have 10 pounders the next year or two. It's got 10 pounders now. I promise you. I promise you. Yesterday, my net is 20 inches wide. When I went to net that fish, its head was that much over the one side and its tail was that much over on the other. It was just way wider than my net. But I just didn't get him in the net. So Coach set the hook on a dink. It came out of the water and sure he's crossed. Dude, there's a few that I've had cross-eyed, I'm sure. Yeah, Ted, that's a good point. Yep, you got to be careful. It's interesting. I mean, we all have our styles, right? And the fun thing about fishing and what makes us go back, I went back to Mooney this morning and caught a lot of fish. I didn't get that big one, but just keeps you going back. So, hey, everybody, I'm going to show the spreadsheet one more time for those that may have came in late. Just to make sure we get it out there. Chris Bogley, keep catching the bigs. 19, 17, 17. Chris, if you can get another 19 and maybe an 18, oof, it's going to be tough to beat. Tough to beat. I know Nathan here in Virginia will probably he catches them big smallies. And then this lady down here, Nicole, I mean, she came in third in the 5 bass draw, and I think last year she came in second in this tournament. Can't count her out neither. Can't count anybody out. Can't count anybody out of this tournament. So I like that. Batter. All right, folks. Have a great week. Thanks for stopping in. We will be live next week. I'll try to do a better job of getting some advertisement out about that. Appreciate everybody. Good luck to all you smallmouth fishermen for the tournament, and good luck to everybody that's out fishing for the next few days. And we'll see you next Wednesday night. Have a good one.